Side 2. Chapter 4. A new beginning.
It was dark.
Tuesday saw the closing of the transfer window, and I don't know about you three, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole evening.
I had to get a new suit.
Well, transfers like Bradley Orr to Blackburn, and Blackburn signing Martin Olsen's twin brother.
I've been waiting years for them to happen. I really have.
It was exciting. Now, does anyone have a particular transfer which they found interesting, enlightening, or just fun? Cal?
Well, personally, I thought Gibril Cissé's move to QPR from Lazio was quite interesting. £4 million, I think it was.
1 goal in 18 games.
1 goal in 18 games, but he does have unfinished business in the English Premier League, which I suppose is following the horrendous injury he suffered. I think it was at Blackburn.
Yeah,
his legs.
It was an interesting one because it
did
look like his leg gave up, because I remember watching it and I wasn't aware that legs could do
his leg looked like
that.
a maze,
and it didn't seem like there was much contact, but it was a horrendous injury.
He had one for France as well, which just
he did it again, didn't he?
Qualifiers.
Horrible.
And that was to the different leg, so weak leg though he is, I think it's interesting he has returned to there's nothing allegedly, but to English football. Made a great start, the goal in his debut, but I think that his exciting hairdos and live wire up front are charismatic enough to make it an interesting transfer. I think, in all seriousness, I think it's a good signing for QPR.
He plays with Bobby Zamora now. Mark just confirmed they'll be a starting pair. Is it going to be the good cop, bad cop routine of striking formations? One big man, one little man, taking the Premier League by storm.
Who's the little man?
Who's the good cop?
Well, Cissé's
More to the point.
Cissé's an underrated player, in my opinion. He's always been a bit of a joke character, but he seems to score goals, and his general player is pretty good. He does have the odd shitter.
On a big wage, though, apparently.
The thing is, I mean, both of them. It's the classic way you just weigh up their value if they keep QPR in the Premier League. And Cissé and Zamora are. I mean, is Zamora England class? I don't think so. But I think that he's definitely good enough with Cissé to get QPR out of trouble and into a position between 10th and 15th.
If they don't manage to escape relegation, Federico Machado will have been on loan to 2 clubs, and in both times have relegated them both.
I mean, Machado just doesn't seem to be getting any sort of long run of chances.
Why has he gone on loan to QPR? He's not going to get a game.
Was that not a Warnock signing?
It was a Warnock signing.
It was a Warnock loan signing. So I think Hughes has just gone in and thought Machado isn't enough.
I hate that new. I want to ruin them. Come here, young Italian. Be my pooch still.
But so I think Cissé, it's good to see him back in the Premier League, get character, and I think he'll help QPR avoid relegation.
Absolutely. Currently in the lead. Ryan?
I've not got one in particular. I just thought maybe we should talk about the return of the old fogies. We've got Robbie Keane, not to a certain extent, but it's good to see him back. I like Robbie Keane. Henry, obviously, and the legend that's Paul Scholes.
Peace be upon him.
Yeah. Amen.
Is that blasphemous?
What are you going to do, church? I is the Pope.
Continue.
Yeah, I probably should. Mark Lawrenson.
What?
Yes.
That's definitely not blasphemous.
Has put on a bet that Henry won't score in the league for the whole 2 months he's there, and I agree with the scouts.
I like how he has to qualify it with the league because he's already scored.
No, he said it after the FA Cup game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of seems a bit
I
hollow.
think that will happen. I think Scholes is a far more worthwhile transfer for United, especially seeing as we've got no one there. And Robbie Keane, 2 goals first game. I'm not sure if it'll work out. I think he'll do okay, but I think Scholes was the best out of the 3. And as a United fan, allegedly, I think it's superb that he's back, and he's already shown it was worthwhile.
I've been surprised by Robbie Keane at Villa in the games I've seen. He's been playing almost behind Darren Bennington, number 10 role, and he's had far better build-up play and
he's definitely
passing
been a lot
than I
deeper,
remember him.
Yeah.
So I thought he was a very limited player before who just scored goals. And
his second goal against Wolves, you see it was an absolute beauty. I think he will offer Villa something else.
He just he knows the Premier League. It's one of those things that it's like
he knows.
You don't think it's important, but he knows most clubs' dressing rooms. And,
on the team bus, Robbie, what do we expect from this dressing room? Well,
the half tap doesn't work.
Weak coat hangers.
Like one of those cheap neck ones that you get.
His goals against Wolves, he didn't celebrate again, and during midweek, Scott Sinclair scored against his former club Chelsea, a club who judged him not good enough for him.
Celebrate, yeah.
I would be going mental if the club had judged him not good enough.
Absolutely.
But it's this whole celebration with head bowed, hands out to the side,
pushing everyone away,
and everyone picking you up as if you're
some sort of deity,
the fallen idol of Jesus Christ himself. It really annoys me. Jimmy Bullard was always great for celebrating his old clubs. He loves it.
I think it depends though. If you'd spent, say, I know for that's a bit ridiculous. If you spent like years and years at a club and you go back to their ground, I think then it's okay.
John O'Shea, man.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, I guess the thing with Sinclair and Keane was that those were the clubs that first took the chance on them, and
First love.
were sort of trained them up. Which I guess, I mean, even if they did deem Sinclair surplus to requirements and not good enough, they still were kicked off his footballing career in the same way that
There's another one this season. Wes Brown didn't celebrate when he scored for us when he was back at Sunderland. When he knocked in
I was literally about to correct you there. I was like, "Hey, push for Sunderland, there, Ryan."
I did it funny.
Very good.
John, your turn.
Hello. Yes, I am going to confound all kind of expectations by going with Papis Demba Cisse, the biggest transfer in England.
John is a Newcastle fan.
Yes. Sorry, I've done that. Anyway, Papis Demba Cisse, £9 million, well, undisclosed, but reported about £9 million from Freiburg, bottom of the Bundesliga, to Newcastle United FC. And
where do they play?
No, he's done sports director. It's an interesting transfer because he is, well, he's been scoring goals for literal fun for the last 18 months in Germany. His strike record is amazing for Freiburg.
Let's get to the heart of this issue. Freiburg lost 2-0 on Friday night to Borussia Dortmund. Are they already missing their Senegalese hitman?
Well, they didn't score,
so they are.
Yes.
Do you think Freiburg can get themselves out of this relegation problem they find themselves in?
You're trying to divert me, aren't you?
Or is the Bundesliga 2 calling them? Matches with Almania Aachen in 1860 Munich. Bochum.
And St. Pauli.
St. Pauli.
Anyway, again, you've distracted me. This has happened. Happy Demba Cisse, excellent signing, I think, but will he adapt to England? I don't know. But he's playing with his pal Demba Ba, which is.
Are they friends? Is this being disclosed?
Well, they've played together a handful of times.
Forced to be friends, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. It's sort of a certain sort of typecast situation, I suppose. But
have Newcastle signed the wrong Senegalese forward when they should have gone for Damien Doy simply because his name's back on?
Senegal are good for fun names. Yang. Yeah.
Yeah, this has gone well. We berated John Terry for allegedly being racist, and now we're laughing at foreign names.
Foreign people funny.
Foreign Cinema Congo.
Bruno Cheru.
I apologise. You can sing Bruno Cheru's name to the Smith song, I Won't Share You. Bruno Cheru.
This is taking a turn.
Bruno Cheru. So Papis Demba Cisse, John. Is he in the same situation as Jelovic, where he needs to recreate his form from his former club before his new?
Yeah, probably. There's going to be pressure on him for the same reasons as Jelovic, but obviously he's coming from a far superior league. But it'll be interesting. I think he'll do well. I'm sticking my neck.
Two up top wouldn't be fine for Newcastle.
Well, we've been playing two up top. I heard that well. We've been playing two up top pretty much all season, apart from the last couple of games where we've been going with this sort of very odd 4-2-3-1 with Leon Best out wide left. But which isn't going to work. He's no.
What does the future hold for players like Best, Amiobi, Elder, Amiobi, and Peter Lovenkrantz, who's still there?
Well, apparently they turned in a loan bid for Lovenkrantz because of the African nations, I think mainly. But
from Wolves, I think.
Yeah, no, it was Birmingham. That's what it was.
Birmingham.
Yeah, apparently that's what was reported anyway. Oh, it might be. It was.
Anyway. I think Demba Ba will still be scoring the goals all the time.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting how the dynamic's going to work, but I think because Papis Cisse is basically a number 9, he is an advanced striker, whereas Demba Ba naturally kind of drops off. He kind of roams a little bit, he comes deeper, and that's why him and Ben Arfa didn't really work together when they were playing those two up front, which only happened a couple of games to be fair. I think they seem a natural fit. It almost seems like it's sort of too far. It's square pegs and square holes, which seems quite scary for me because as a Newcastle fan, that's never happened before. I'm very terrified of success.
I think Demba Ba is good enough to sort of
absolutely, yeah.
adapt it.
Can Newcastle hold fifth, or can they push on and even reach the promised land of the Champions League?
Neither. They'll finish seventh.
Seventh.
Yeah.
Seventh, right?
They've got Arsenal, Liverpool. I don't see.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think seventh is about right. They won't get Champions League, let's be honest. But I'm surprised they're still where they are now. So fair.
Yeah, seventh at the start of the season would have been about best possible.
Yeah, that was
result.
I think they
absolutely.
will.
Yeah. No one would have thought that. Yeah.
I believe they will get the Champions League simply because Pardew allegedly wants to take his wife tour to Europe. Allegedly. Why was he sacked at Southampton?
That's dripping in rumour.
Not for me to say, but he loves the wives.
Who doesn't?
Not just his own, but the wives of others.
Allegedly.
That's Newcastle.
Yeah,
Newcastle covered.
My transfer of the window was Musaso from Lille to Fenerbahce. Musaso is, for my money, the best Senegalese forward. Yeah, John, eat it. And it was a shame that for Senegal during the disastrous Africa Cup of Nations campaign, he was forced out wide to his more creative role when he just should be up top. And he scored goals like them about for fun for Lille over the past 2 seasons, and I think it's a real shame that he's gone to Fenerbahce, simply because they're currently in the mire of a match-fixing scandal and being stripped of league titles.
Yeah.
Because he is a wonderful
player. I thought he was going to get moved to England, or at least to...
especially in the world.
Well, at least to a league where have relevant television coverage in this country. Or relevant. Television's a good word. Let's go with it.
Same with Seydou Doumbia. He's a player who I'd love to see closer to home.
French league's producing a lot of good players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even not sort of French players, but it seems to be churning out. Especially, I mean, PSG are just sort of firing up forever. I mean, they got a piss story.
Yeah.
He's not quite clicked yet.
He's out injured for a few months, and Ancelotti seems to be building a side at PSG where it's almost bypassing the story. He doesn't have the options he's using at the minute, and unless the story can be refashioned into an out-and-out striker, I wonder if it could be, in the long run, could turn out to be a poor signing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I like the story a lot.
He's a classic footballer. But
France also going to be Smith's song, Any transfers which didn't happen, which you thought should have, or clubs that could have brought in players that didn't count?
Well, I thought, I mean, from FIFA and basically all video games, FIFA, Football Manager, I think everyone has come along, Edison Cavani, and a great player in Milan as well. And I think that Chelsea were surprisingly quiet during the transfer window, only because you would think that Villas-Boas needs to improve and needs to do it quite quickly. And Kevin De Bruyne was a signing that he had nothing to do with, apparently. It was due to some unknown sort of idea that Chelsea have. I don't know if it's for under 21 players or whatever it is, but it seems to be out of his hands.
Are Chelsea building a Belgian under 21?
I mean, that could be.
Courtois,
they must have a Belgian under 21 signed during every transfer.
They got rid of Yves Macalambi, so that would suggest that they're sort of having
perhaps not
a very perhaps they're moving away.
Maybe he unbalanced it. Yves Macalambi unbalanced it, and Lukaku had to come in.
Ricochets shitted form, it could just be Yves Macalambi and Max.
If you'll allow me to go on a tangent, one of the best and worst pieces of commentary I ever heard about Yves Macalambi was he was playing for Hibs and being disastrous as he generally was for Hibs.
Yes. As
I'm sure you'll testify to. But the commentator literally said, like, sort of as if he'd forgotten that he was on mic, he looked at him and said, "He looks like an orangutan." And I was like, "Oh no, you can't say that. He's black. You can't say that."
You should have said he's playing like an Eves pudding.
He literally said he looks like an orangutan, and I was like, "Oh God!" It was not good. Anyway, sorry, I've derailed that. Carry on.
No, that's fine. But actually, my favourite involvement of a sort of Hibs player in a commentator mishap was probably when I think it was Blackburn Bolton this season I was watching, and UC Askelainen made a good save. And the commentator claimed that Mixu Patalainen had made a good save, which I was intrigued by. And briefly excited by.
Ryan, what's your favourite mistaken Hibs commentary?
They are. I think we've used the most famous ones. But
mine is Hibs have won a game.
Thank you, Dunfermline.
That Hibs.
However, moving it from Hibs to Edison Cavani, so we can all be happy.
Edison Cavani's a hit.
Oh,
Deadline debut.
not good enough. Yes, it was barely rumoured that Cavani was going to Chelsea. I think they could certainly use him. I mean, Drogba's, you would think, gone in the summer, and Torres has yet to spark into anything. Really.
Yeah.
Maybe the one brief time he showed it, he got suspended, and then when he came back from the suspension, Diaz-Force wanted to stick with Drogba. But I think Cavani would be an addition to any team in the world, and also there's the subtext of Chelsea have Napoli in the next round of the Champions League, and even if he couldn't play for Chelsea, simply not being on the field for Napoli would be a massive boost. I think Napoli are actually favourites for that. That's certainly on Chelsea's front form. But I would have just loved to see Cavani in the Premiership. I think he's
personally,
a wonderful player.
If Chelsea were going to sign a Napoli forward, I think they could do far worse than go for Lavezzi, who would fill that attacking left position better than Mata, who is far better when played through the middle. And
I absolutely agree.
Struggle.
Mata has to. I mean, he seems he doesn't want to play Sturridge through the middle, which I think is a position that he held down for Bolton last season. And Mata is so much better than that.
I'm not sure it's so much that he doesn't want to play Sturridge through the middle than Sturridge is having to play sort of second fiddle to the Torreses and the Drogbas.
Sturridge is playing very well from the right though.
He is to be fair. He is. But he has been predictable. He has been complaining publicly.
Kevin De Bruyne comes in now, out and out winger who will give him with them.
Well, they've immediately loaned him back.
That's true.
Just they got Maluda.
It's a transfer that did happen.
Right, transfers didn't happen in the club, which didn't make a transfer.
I'm going to stick close to home with United.
Good to see you spreading the wing.
Yeah, I always do. I've got to go with the midfield of United because it's poor at the moment, very poor, until Tom Cleverley comes back and hopefully Paul Pogba makes it. I know, I feel a bit bad saying that, we're relying on absolute youngsters at the moment. But I would have to go with Chettiori. I think he would have been perfect build for United. Also, it would have wound up my good sir opposite me, John, very much to see him leave to me. And I think he would just fit the role perfectly, just to hold in midfield, good distribution, absolute warrior, and if he could score any goals like he did against Arsenal for us, then it would make me a very happy man. So I would have loved to see Thierry at United. I think he would have offered us something that we really are lacking at the moment.
Thierry is coming up to around 50 games for Newcastle and has been booked 964.
Yes.
I'm gonna
fancy football every week. Solid one from Chettiori.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you, not for the reasons that I would probably.
I don't want him to leave Newcastle.
Yeah, I'd probably cry in a room for several days. But no, I'm not. I'm gonna disagree because I don't think he is a good enough footballer for Man United. I honestly don't. This is refreshing. Honestly, I think he's an excellent defensive midfielder, and he's a decent short range passer of the ball. I mean, last season his passing stats were amazing in terms of completion. You could say that. Britain, there you go, the new Xavi. But more to the point, I don't think his game is expansive enough, especially with Man U playing as they are just now with a sort of two-man midfield. I really don't think he would fit that. If you were to change and if you were to accommodate a defensive kind of stopper in midfield, he would fit in. I just don't think. And for the fee he would probably command, given that he signed a 5.5 year contract there.
I was going to ask, how much would you maybe pay for a check deal? Only because I saw something. I mean, on the whole gossip thing on the BBC that said 24 million was the price.
Well, as we say, United were not going to spend any money, are they? So yeah. If it was going to be something outrageous, then it would never have happened. The whole point then, the other obvious answer is obviously Snyder that everyone goes on about, but that's never going to happen. I don't know if it's even worth it now. Well,
so the Snyder transfer, if he did come to Man United, he would people seem to think that Schneider is a midfielder in the mold of Scholes and
Yeah,
Carrick, but he's
he's
not.
really
He plays
not.
in Rooney's
He's
position.
Again, it's the two-man midfield thing.
Yeah,
Again,
I think it's just Schneider's quality is what people have seen. But
people
he
get
is
on a
very
bandwagon as well.
That's true.
I think Inter want to sell Schneider. His injury record with the past as well has been very poor, and they thought they were winning games without him. They struggled. Put him on. They won a game and then started him the next.
I don't want to jump on this bandwagon on Schneider, but he had an incredibly good season when Mourinho was manager of Inter Milan, and he's not really replicated that since. I don't think spending a huge amount of money on him would guarantee any kind of progress. And
he is an angry Emperor. John, transfers didn't happen.
Transfers didn't happen. I'm going to be predictable. Tevez Carroll swap. It would have been mental, but it would have been quite funny. I think Tevez at Liverpool, would anything change? Would he start trying? Would he start playing football again? Would he be good again? Remember when Carlos Tevez was good? And then Carroll would end up at Man City. That would just be bizarre as well, because he's not been good for about the same time, and it's like sort of clubs swapping their baggage more than anything. It's not a transfer. It's just,
if he did go to Man City, he could wrestle Edin Dzeko in a miniature city and pretend to be Godzilla versus King Kong. They're of a similar size and demeanor.
They could get some small skyscrapers.
Dzeko,
that I was just about to make that point, strangely.
Do you want to know me this week how Mancini's come back on his word and said maybe there is a way back to Tevez? That's really annoyed me.
That's very interesting.
What he said.
Yeah.
Like, I was hoping Tevez would just rot there, and now he's got an avenue.
Maybe we could play the player who we pay £250,000 plus a week. In games. Maybe.
Nah.
Let's see him in Argentina. That sounds good.
I think it was just because Mancini saw. I mean, I can only imagine it was because he saw the Everton game, and I think Aguero's obviously a great player, and I really like Sheffield. I think he's a class player, and I think that part of his lack of form recently has been the fact that he's a striker who was, after a just scintillating start to the season, was brought off for a number of games and then thrown back in basically to pick up where he left off, which I think is hard for anyone. I like Dzeko a lot, but I think Mancini saw maybe a lack of ideas against Everton, and it's just with Carlos Tevez, there's obviously class there. Anything could happen. Carlos Tevez could just be fat in Argentina right now. I don't even know if Mancini is. I don't know if anybody knows.
Is.
Could just be. He's getting paid enough. If he is indeed getting paid.
Oh, if I was getting paid that much to do nothing, I would just eat.
Dzeko's best form of his career has come while at Wolfsburg, and he was playing alongside Ricochets, who is an out-and-out, on-the-shoulder striker. Dzeko would drop deep, he would roam around the pitch, and he would pull the strings a bit, and he'd get on the end of balls as well. And he doesn't really have the option to do that at Man City.
Aguero's not an out-and-out striker. City have tried to play him there, but I think he's always sat behind Forlan at Atletico Madrid.
Do you think it's just because he's big?
Dzeko.
People just think, oh, he's big, he's an out-and-out striker.
Yeah. But his touch and his distribution is so good.
Well, allegedly, my dad's a City fan. I don't know about that.
Family strife in the Tute household.
And my dad actually hates Dzeko as a season.
Really?
Yeah, he hates him, and he wants him out, really. Well, not out of the club, but he doesn't want him in the team. He
send him to Argentina
to play golf.
He thinks that would be more worthwhile, and it's helpful for the City cause.
Well, personally, my transfer, which didn't happen, was Giovanni Dos Santos not leaving Spurs. This is a young man, he's 22, who's showed incredible form for the Mexico national side, and Harry Redknapp has basically said he's not good enough. Harry Redknapp. What a shame.
Really smiley, Giovanni Dos Santos.
Yeah, nice young man.
Got a lovely smile.
Well, in the last Gold Cup, he played...
More smiles in football.
He played behind Chicharito Hernandez, and Hernandez won the Golden Boot and he won the Golden Ball, but for my money, the best player was Dos Santos. His goal in the final against the United States, where he turns the entire US team inside out and then chips Tim Howard, is unreal. It is a fantastic goal, and it's such a shame that he won't be playing regular football. unless he moves to Romania or Russia, which for some reason their window hasn't shut. Don't know if he fancies it.
That's why
is it broken?
it's similar to.
We can't close it.
It's similar to Tevez in the way that they said that South America and Russian teams are interested in only because their transfer windows are still open. So there is still plenty to be written about. Anze perhaps
Clutching at straws hanging out of an open window.
I don't know. I can see Steaua Bucharest making some big moves in the transfer window. That's for another time. End of part 2.